All right, we want to welcome you to another episode of the State of Synth. My name is Dennis G.
And I'm Neon Fox.
And we want to thank you for listening in. We have a monster of a show tonight. Not only are we dropping some exclusive songs from artists Moonrunner83 and Megan McDuffie, we also have Millennium Falk. What? And we're also going to be giving away some Bandcamp codes for Miles Matrix's latest album, along with Millennium Falk's latest single, I guess, right?
Yep.
So this is
it's a meaty show, yeah.
This is a very meaty show. I really couldn't come up with
and juicy.
Meaty and juicy, that's right. Because, you know, all radio shows should be meaty and juicy and chock full of...
That's the way Saphira likes it.
That's right. Let's hear something inspiring. Well, we'll do our best. I mean, you know, I could talk about what I'm, thinking about and my hopes and aspirations, but I'm not really sure. I don't really have any right now, so maybe
I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat a little bit later.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about having my beer. I actually have to stop drinking during shows, Jules. I kind of fall apart, and it's just one of them things where, I got to keep it together for the fans.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep it together, and I'm having a nice Coca-Cola because that's, you got to have a little something to wet the whistle and all that good stuff. So anyway, where are we at here? So how was your week? Very good, I assume, hopefully.
Oh yeah. It's a great week. It's also I'm looking forward to a short week next week because for us it's Victoria Day on Monday.
Victoria Day?
Yeah, it's a holiday to celebrate the Queen's birthday.
Oh, the Queen.
Yeah, the Queen.
You guys have a Queen?
Yeah, well, we still sort of, out of, I don't know, it's just tradition. And right now I'm doing the Queen wave.
Oh,
but
very nice.
Yeah, it's tradition. So, you know what? It gives us a holiday. Nobody's complaining.
Hey, you never turn down a holiday, that's for sure.
Exactly.
So, very, very good.
Well, what else we got on the show today?
Well, you tell me, Jules. What do we got here tonight in this chock-full episode?
So we're also going to have I did a little bit of a discussion last week on the topic of mental health.
We did.
And so tonight, yes, we have a special guest tonight. North Innsbruck will be joining us to continue this discussion.
Very exciting. Very, very glad to have him on, and we'll bring him on in just a little bit.
Yeah. So, you know what? Before diving in, so you mentioned that we've got some Bandcamp codes for Miles Matrix's his latest release, which has dropped today on Bandcamp, I believe, and I guess it's going to be hitting other platforms soon. So it's called Buena Vista.
Buena Vista, baby.
So if you're listening,
I don't know.
Visit milesmatrix.bandcamp.com/yum. YUM. And if you're quick enough, you can use the following code. It's Uniform Bravo Tango 9-6 Victor 9 Alpha. UBF 9-6V9A.
All right. So everyone
grab yourself a copy.
Yeah. Good luck to you guys. And we have a bunch of codes that we're going to be giving out during the night. Once again, we have Millennium Falk, and we also have Miles Matrix because we love giving out free music to you guys, and we're just here to celebrate some good tunes. Moonrunner, too. We're just happy to have his new track. It's fantastic.
These artists, Miles Matrix, Millennium Falk, Moonrunner, and Megan, they're so nice, and they're so generous to allow us to do this.
Yes.
So thank you, guys.
Yes. Big props to all of the people. And if you do have an exclusive you'd like for us to play, I'm certainly probably not going to turn it down. I don't think Jules will either. So
No. Not at all.
Bring them on. We love playing new music. And we will get into some new music in just a little bit. But right now, we're going to go right on into our top story. Top story. A secret cave has been discovered. What? In the mountains of Romania. these caves were believed to be the house of the remains of an ancient civilization, may even possibly be the birthplace of the modern day synthesizer. What is this, Jules? This is crazy.
Ooh, this is getting juicy.
This is very juicy, and I tell you, everything on the State of Synth is absolutely 100% true. In fact, you know, in this existence or one of the other many parallel existences that I believe are out there,
we don't make things up.
We don't ever make anything up. But the State of Synth will be investigating this discovery. We hope to have more on this, and when we find out, we're going to jump to our roving reporter, is Vosto Vlad, and we're going to see if we can possibly have him shed a little light on this subject here. Mr. Vosto Vlad, are you available? Are you out there?
Hello, Dennis. Today we are in an exploration journey in Transylvania. It is rumored that here, in a secret cave from the Bujej Mountains, lies a secret treasure. A treasure that contains lost artifacts of ancient synthesizers. It is said that Robert Arthur Bob Moog invented his commercial synthesizers inspired by some of the relics from this cave. The cave, however, is protected by that old civilization. It still exists. They live underground and stay away from the primitive racket caused on the surface by the mortal humans. Imagine, Dennis, godlike synthesizers from the Anunnaki. The rumors continue when it comes to the well-known composer from Greece, Evangelos Odysseas Papathanasiou, also known as Vangelis. Conspiracy theorists are saying that is in a cave from Greece that the great Blade Runner soundtrack was composed. Only the chosen ones are allowed to enter the cave and shown the secrets of the synthesizers. Now, as I approach the legendary Romanian cave, let's see if I am accepted. Oh no! Dennis, this
Vosto.
is incredible.
Vosto.
But I don't know what is going to
Vosto?
happen to me. I have never before seen such...
He's having a little bit of interference. This certainly has never happened before. We're gonna have to check out to see if the whereabouts of Vosto Vlad are. We don't exactly know what happened.
What happened there?
Jules, do you know what in the world's going on? Because
no, I have no idea.
All right, so mysterious caves, Vosto Vlad. He's always doing something crazy, and I think we might have to we might have to try him on a cellular, see if we can get a hold of him. But that was Vosto Vlad reporting something definitely crazy going on in Romania, and yeah, that's alarming.
I hope Vosto's okay.
Yeah, me too. Until then, let's just go ahead. We're gonna jump to this next song here. This is from Aussie artists Froyo, and this is their recent single out there here on Night Ride FM. Vosto, we're coming for you, buddy.
You leaving
Once again, that was Froyo with Out There. And what do you think about that tune, Jules? You like that one?
I love it. I love these guys. I love their vocals. I love their synth.
That is a really, really good tune. I really like, I'm a sucker for vocals. I'm all about it. And before we go on into our next segment, we have a very special sponsor for this evening. Retro Reverb Rhythms charity album for cancer, which is raising awareness for funds for cancer research, as well as helping out the synthwave scene. So we have a little spot for them, and let's find out a little bit more about that.
Hi, I'm Cole.
And I'm Al.
And with our artists, we are Retro Reverb Records. We are really pleased to announce our charity album, Retro Reverb Rhythms Volume 1.
Which is raising money for Cancer Research UK and the Meaty di Sole Association for Cancer Research.
The album will be released on the 26th of June as a live event and live broadcast.
Powered by Joe and Rob of Eversynth the 80s and Riverside Radio. So come down to the Cat's Back, Point Pleasant, London, SW18 on the 26th of June from 7 till 8 for live performances and free entry.
To find out more information, follow us on Twitter at Retro Reverbs or email us at retroreverbrecords@gmail.com. Welcome to the family.
All right, thank you very much for that little spot right there. And yeah, we have some good news coming up for that as well. We'll keep you in tune and all up to date on all that is going on with the Retro Reverb Rhythms. So, moving on into our next segment here, we have a special little feature we're going to do. And Jules, do you want to kind of set this one up here for us here tonight?
Sure, of course. So yes, as I said earlier in the show, we had a discussion last week about mental health. There was an article. So it's an issue that affects many, many people. Last week, Minnesotan synth artist North Innsbruck shared a study that showed that 73% of musicians struggle with symptoms of mental illness. And this is indeed close to our hearts. So to continue the discussion, we are fortunate tonight to have Chris, aka North Innsbruck, on the show. So hi, Chris.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, to be able to come on and talk about such an important cause that, like you said, Jules, affects every one of us in some way.
Yeah. We see it. It's in our personal lives. We see it on social media.
Oh, yeah.
And before we go in, let's. You're definitely fully qualified, so I think it's probably helpful for you to mention that you're just not some synthwave dude that likes to talk about mental health. So if you can give us your qualifications, I think it'll be nice and important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, undergrad, University of Minnesota, right? Home sweet home. Psychology degree there for the undergrad, but then I also continued on to a graduate degree in clinical psychology, and so I'm licensed to practice psychotherapy here in the state of Minnesota.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
down and
here on the
dirty
state
version.
of synth. Yeah, we don't mess around on the state of synth.
No.
Yeah, we're dead serious about the people we get on here.
That's true.
Bring in the heavy hitters, huh?
Mm-hmm.
If you only knew. Jeez. All right.
So Chris, tell us this study that you shared. How does it relate to you? I guess on a personal level, professionally, or as an artist?
Yeah, honestly, it's fully across the spectrum, because I bet there's so many of the people who are listening right now that can listen to this and relate with the different types of symptoms that people are really experiencing. And I'm kind of going beyond the depression and anxiety stuff as well. Those are definitely things that are we all notice, and in some cases those are easy to recognize, but where is it really coming from? Mm-hmm. As an artist, as a musician specifically, I'm looking at things like, failure evaluation of my peers, a pressure to deliver, which really throws a lot at you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier before the show.
Yeah.
Setting our own goals, right, and being hard on ourselves.
Absolutely, that's it too. And do you think about as artists, as musicians, what you dump into your projects as well? It's your heart, it's your soul. You're giving a piece of yourself to the world. That's a big deal.
Yeah, there's definitely like a cycle too, like a release cycle that a lot of the artists that I know and speak with, and it revolves usually like around like a major album release or a single release or something like that. People get so wrapped up in the build up of everything that they're promoting and put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. And even if they sell, I find it's the people that sell hundreds of albums, thousands of albums, but also people that sell less albums than that. It seems to be kind of the same thing, where once that release cycle is done, there's just a big, huge, we just call it the artist come down, where, you know, it's really a vulnerable time for an artist out there. And a lot of times you see a lot of artists, you know, not naming names, but obviously there are a few that, you know, can lash out, and, you know, you see them on social media and you're like, oh, they're going a little crazy, but, you know, you don't really realize that they put so much into this one thing. Sometimes it's really hard to balance that. Like, do you have any like tips for anybody that's kind of going through that?
Yeah, 110%. I mean, so much of it, at least what I found in my own life, is balancing demands. And I bet you could probably find that with a lot of people across the spectrum. And in figuring out what those demands are, like before the show today, Jules and I were, you know, we were talking about the demands of, you know, creating music, again, keeping up with that, the career as well. I mean, I'd love to say that playing synthwave paid all my bills, but you know,
Wait,
I
we
know
get
the
paid for
chances
this?
of that are good. So, all right, yeah, it might have
99% of the artists out there, synthwave is not paying the bills.
Exactly. Yeah, totally it. And so that comes into play. You know, the relationship with my partner as well, because I have to have, I mean, I've got to give her the time that she needs as well. And so you throw a dog and a cat in there and the rest of my family and friends, and you've really got to balance all that out one way or another. And sometimes you give, or you take to give to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, you and I were talking. Sometimes it's hard to say no to one commitment and then another commitment. Then you find yourself stretched beyond your means, which can affect your stress levels. You don't want to disappoint people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw that on to the pile.
Yes, yeah, 100%. And you know, so what do you really do to find that balance? And that's a piece of it. You know, I've heard people, hey, I mean, I use humor to get through. I know a lot of people do other things, you know, social recreation. Truth be told, guys, like I play in a softball league. That was last night, and that's kind of my night to get out once a week and actually just get my heart beating a little bit. I'm not good at it, but it's outside.
Right.
Finding those things to do outside of, you know, I want to spend all my time in my studio, but I know I can't.
So so these are like coping mechanisms, right?
It really is 110%. Yeah.
I was telling you earlier, mine, so my credit card is a big flaming pile of hot meth right now.
And every synthwave producer out there knows it.
Right?
And that's because I think one of my coping mechanisms is just trying to single-handedly prop up Bandcamp, especially the synthwave side of it. So, I don't know if anybody's noticed this week, but you're not going to see my face on any albums this week unless they were pre-ordered. But my wish list is growing.
I've seen a few, though. You snuck a few in still.
Yeah.
Send your music to Jules. That's another good way to do it right there.
Oh, man.
He'll love you for it.
You know what, Chris, you touched on this. We were talking about this earlier as well. An artist who wants to push their art generally has to be on social media and, push it and network. And we all know that social media is not exactly the healthiest place for, mental health. And, I mean, sure, okay, so the synth wave community is a little better than most, but still.
Right.
Social media is a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's tough putting yourself out there, and then, so many people, and you just gotta, it's definitely tough to navigate the social circles. And do you have any tips for people that, are doing that, trying to just promote their album, and just try to navigate a lot of that? Because can get a little crazy,
It's the truth. Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's what you're chasing and kind of figuring out what's really important to you, or maybe what your resources are out there. Who do you want to connect with perhaps as well, and what's the way you want to do it. Truth be told, I was telling Jules, I started doing North Innsbruck specifically for myself so I could quit listening to music with words at my desk. I was slightly familiar with synthwave, but I really wasn't on board with it necessarily at first. So it was kind of an accident that it even came to being. Geez, Jules, I did it again. I was thinking about one thing. I took my story in a different direction. Oh, the social media piece.
Welcome
That's
to my
right.
world.
Oh my gosh, it gets worse too as you get older.
Oh yeah.
But I chose to focus my energy, and initially I went to one social media site, Instagram, and I don't really. didn't do anything else. I'm not really on Facebook much or any of that. And so I was able to really connect with people in that way. And that's what I was looking for initially. And what's happened with Twitter since January is just unbelievable. And I don't know if that's momentum carrying out of Instagram now, or if this is and I want to say, and it's also this awesome synth community that we have on Twitter. It's special.
Yeah, you know what I find, like, for me it's hard to keep up on Instagram because it's for me it's like it's a flood of images with the text and the conversation being secondary.
Yes.
Whereas Twitter, it's still concise, unlike Facebook, but here at least, you know, when you're part of this community, for instance, it's the text is first and foremost, and the conversation is first and foremost with, you know, a little bit of humor thrown in.
Absolutely.
I love that.
That interaction is really meaningful, and it's something that I've really enjoyed as well. I've caught myself spending, kind of more time and focusing that time on Twitter as opposed to Instagram. Not that I don't enjoy it; it's fun, but I shift a little, I guess, between those two, maybe.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of finds their one social network and just kind of goes with that, and it's who you feel more comfortable with. Some people feel more comfortable with just going in a room and just talking about whatever they want to talk about. But you made a good point about finding circles and really just trying to navigate in those circles. And
Absolutely.
it's tough because there's a lot of Twitter users out there. There's I guess a few thousand.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I think that's it too, because there's been a couple people who've reached out to me directly through DM and they've asked a question. So what have you done? How have you got it going? And I've said exactly what you're doing to me right now is you're messaging me and all these other people I've sent messages to at least try and build a relationship initially, or say hi for that matter. So
absolutely. But yeah, it's really good, and I think we really should have these type of discussions. I know we've been kind of talking over the past couple of days, and it's possible that we might even have a program like this if we get enough support from the community. If people think that this is something that might be interesting for them, and we might even have it on Night Ride FM. So if anyone's listening and would like to possibly get involved, to either be a guest or maybe some subjects to maybe put some questions out, we really kind of want to get a thing going because mental health is important. And I know, some people were saying, they would like to be that mentally, I don't want to say, let's say the unstable artist who's putting out content, or would they rather be that stable artist who's not really putting anything out? And I'm like, well, you could always have both. You can be mentally stable and put out some rad stuff too. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of like the holy grail.
Truth. And you think about our community that we have, and I'm not necessarily sure if we could really put a true number on our small, our synthwave community, but the complexity of everybody. I mean, grief, losses going on for some people, other things, coping, helping others, LGBT, the gay community as well. And so there's this big picture that's going on right now, and there's a lot of stigma, and we got to do something about it. And this is a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, I think we've all seen, those of us, in this little synth fam of ours, we've all seen fellow artists have to drop off social media completely because they've got personal issues. They either burn out or they've got there's health issues in the family.
Yeah, we all go through that stuff.
And it's nobody is alone in this. All of us are. And, it's good to remind people that, right?
One thing I'm so glad you mentioned that, because one of the main things that I wanted to mention today while I was on the phone with you guys is that there's it's cliche, but there is help out there. As I was going through and I was preparing for this today, I was even looking at like crisis line information. And in the U.S., we have the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. In Canada, it looks like there's a crisis text line that you guys have.
There is, yep.
686-868. Europe 112. Across many countries is your crisis line there for mental health. I think that it's got to be. And that's I just focused on those specific areas because that's really where I think the listeners are for you guys. Mm-hmm. So we're out there, and I mean, you can always DM North Innsbruck, to be honest with you. It's not I'm not a crisis line, but if you need something, feel free to reach out. You know, we can find a solution for you, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Or at least you can talk it out. You can lend an ear.
Absolutely.
You might not have a solution for all the problems, but sometimes it's just good to talk to somebody just to kind of put it out there and let people know. Like, I would rather somebody let somebody know than to just drop off and you wonder, hey, what happened to that person? Because
you know what? Sometimes it's hard. Like, I give maximum respect to some of the artists I've seen who tweet out their personal problem, and they don't necessarily ask for help, but they tweet it out, and go ahead. There's people listening. There's freaks like me who are reading every little tweet that goes by.
Absolutely.
And I'm always happy to jump in and throw a little bit of support. I mean, I went through my own traumatic experience, and so in mid 2015,
stuff at you. That's for sure.
Yeah, it does. And you know what? One thing I wrote this down in our notes. I want musicians out there to know that. See, I'm not a musician, just a big fan, but a lot of musicians have said they create the music to cope.
Yeah,
and
totally.
They should remember that somewhere there is a person, even if it's just one, listening to your music, and, like a fan, and it's helping them cope as well with their life problems.
Yep.
So to me, that's a nice thought. I mean, if you make a song and you stick it out on Bandcamp or Spotify, and if it gets no traction, but there's one person across the globe listening to your song on a subway,
right?
And that's
another thing too. It's very hard to tell who's even listening to your stuff, because I mean, me, again, you're not a producer, I'm not a producer, although I do produce content. It's in a different way, but I always wonder who listens to the show, and I have been surprised recently about some of the people that do listen to the show, and I was like, oh really? Because I put it out when I do a show. I always put it out to literally talk to, I want to, if I can reach 3 people, I'm happy, which is a pretty, and those 3 people could be us 3 people, if I'm talking in a room, that's who I do my show for. I do the show for, that one person who really cares about me talking about stripper poles or, whatever, because it's my form of therapy too. But, it's really sometimes one of them things where you can't really measure that success in numbers, because there's people lurking out there. There's people who are listening to shows on streams, and there's people that are listening, on YouTube and just all over the place. And it could be that one person who you really reach that you're never ever going to know that they even got affected by your stuff, which is really, really interesting, because we all touch each other. I just said that. There it is. What are we, 30 minutes into the show already? I'm talking about touching people. But you know what I'm saying. It's really one of them things where you do have an effect on people. Sometimes even if you don't know. making Jules blush over here. But it's all. It's
no, what I was telling Chris earlier. For me, the fact that I'm on here right now speaking to Dennis and Chris, who's a musician who makes music I listen to on the subway. It's
awesome. Wow.
I've said this to some other artists before. I feel like a 16-year-old talking to Taylor Swift. Yeah, that's what it's like to be a synthwave fan and to be able to interact.
Absolutely. Well, even kind of on the side of the artist, and no joke, just last night, I was telling my girlfriend, as we were sitting around, I was like, oh, I've got all these listeners, or followers, but there's no way to tell if anybody's listening. Do I have any listeners? And that night, I mean, I got a message from a guy in Oregon who was like, hey, let's get something on. I love what you're doing. And talking to Jules tonight before the show, I mean, he actually connected a name to a song, which was like, what? Somebody actually listened? What?
Jules listens to every synthwave artist out there. In fact, I think
awesome.
They need to rate you some reverse royalties or something, because
no. If anybody can find a way to jack me into the matrix, so that I don't have to feed, eat and sleep, I'll be happy.
Synthwave all day, every day.
There you go. Either way, send Jules your music or he'll get on Napster. I don't know. Is that still a thing?
I wish it was. I used to love Napster. The legitimate Napster was actually a really good service. Then, the juggernaut Spotify came in, and
Yep.
I love it too. But
Oh yeah. Yep. That's a whole nother mental health episode that I've got on my piece of paper here.
Awesome.
So we got that one covered, guys. That addiction, I'm telling you, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hey, I really do thank you for coming out, and we're definitely going to put some of those, I guess you'd say, contact points, and you guys can, if you can retweet that stuff, it's important because the synthwave community is all about just really staying together and keeping everybody rocking and rolling and loving the greatest music that's ever been created. So again, Chris, I do thank you very, very much. And we'll keep you posted. We got more interesting stuff coming up. Maybe we'll line that show up and
awesome.
Get
that sounds good.
Great.
That sounds great. Yeah. Go ahead, Jules. Sorry.
Well, yeah. But Chris, thank you so much for coming on and talking about this. And yes, I think we should keep this going.
Yeah,
indeed. I'm all for it, you guys. And just real quick, it is here in the States, at least, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So you could throw some green on maybe tomorrow. It's Friday to help support mental health. That would be awesome.
Perfect.
I'll do that. I'm in Canada, but I'll do that anyways.
Hey, either way, man, we love you. Friendly neighbors. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show tonight. I really appreciate it and getting the message out there. That's a big deal. So thanks.
It's our honor to have you on.
Yeah. Thank you very much. All right. That was North Innsbruck right there. Very good. Chris, and he's a very qualified guy. And I tell you, it's always good to talk about things, because that's one of them things. It's the biggest taboo is talking about that kind of stuff. And
like I said before too, sometimes people can be their own worst enemies.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, everyone's got to remember that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Everyone's battling.
Everyone's going to battle.
Let's battle together.
That's right. Strength in numbers. So awesome stuff to hear. And yeah, we're definitely not gonna let it go. We're gonna kind of keep the talk going and keep the discussion going on Twitter, because that's the one great thing about this community is we just keep it all together. Well, about that kind of stuff. 90% of the time, everything else doesn't go together in my life, but all right, so what are we talking about now? We're gonna go ahead into you know what, my favorite part here. Let's jump into some weather. What do you think about that, Neon?
Of course. I love doing the weather.
All right, take it away.
All right, well, so the weather throughout the synth world seems to be improving with sunshine and warm breezes everywhere. Lows overnight might bring on a chill, so if you have access to a hot tub, use it. Just remember to put on some synthwave before sinking into that warm, hot bath.
Of course. And speaking of hot baths, let me tell you something, Jules. I don't know what is going on in Finland. I really don't.
Finland.
I spent last week, I was in New York with Turbo Knight, and he is a Finnish artist, and he told me a fact about Finnish bathhouses that I can't even believe this. He told me that because the sauna, it is the most essential part of a Finnish culture. There are 3.3 million saunas in Finland and a population of, did I say million? I did say million. Yes, because this is crazy. There's 5.4 million people in Finland, 3.3 million saunas. Jules, that is almost a sauna per person, give or take.
Whoa.
That is like a lot of naked people in a lot of hot saunas, and that is just blowing my absolute mind right now. What is going on over there?
I'm just picturing a bunch of naked people in saunas with synthesizers in front of them.
Yeah, some extra help playing the keys, I guess.
Oh,
terrible. We go from mental health to this, and yes, this is why I love you, Jules. You're
Me?
You take the ride right with me, man. Straight on, right back into the gutter. It's always, it's wonderful. So, once again, it seems like the Finvasion continues as we here at the State of Synth, we can provide you, the listeners, with, wait a minute, what is this?
Oh, yes, it's right. This is not lying.
An exclusive premiere. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. We have an exclusive premiere from Millennium Falcon. Oh my God. I'm losing my stuff.
Speaking of fins, yeah.
Speaking of fins. You know what? This is very exciting. I cannot wait to play this for you guys because this is a super hot. Is this part of an album? Is this part of a? I know this is just the one song right now, but this is part of a. You know this music thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it is part of an upcoming album.
Yes.
He just released his Calio mixtapes.
Right, which were hot.
Yep. But but he's got this album, I guess, planned, but this single's coming next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
But you're hearing it tonight as a special premiere, Night Ride FM. We're also going to be giving away some Bandcamp thingies. What are they called?
Bandcamp codes.
Yum codes. Yeah. Yum codes. In fact, maybe we'll drop a few more in just a little bit. But until then, let's go ahead and give this exclusive a listen right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Castle Run, Millennium Falcon. You were listening to Night Ride FM. We got all the juicy exclusives. Here it is. Yeah, once again, that was Millennium Falcon, and that was amazing stuff right there. That is like your true Outrun sound. Love that tune right there. We just dropped 3 Yum codes into the chat room, so if you are in the chat, you guys are having a lucky day because we got some free tunes coming up for you. So yeah, this is very exciting stuff. We love giving away free music. You like that tune there, Neon?
Loved it. That was my first listen to it. So yeah. Oh wow. It's so much different than his Calio mixtapes.
It is.
This is really synth.
Yeah, it was Future Funk, which was that's my gig. The Calio mixtapes. I can't say it, like I can't pronounce anything, but that is like your standard super duper pedal to the metal Outrun good stuff right there.
Ooh, you know what? It looks like Saphira V has snagged one of those codes.
Yes, snag them up. Free tunes. We love them. All right, so once again, that was Millennium Falcon with Kessel Run. Make sure you go to Bandcamp and check him out. He is going to be dropping that, I believe, next week or so. So you get the night ride advantage, I guess you'd say. And I tell you what, while we're at it, let's give away. What do you think? Let's give away one more.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think about
Read
that?
it out.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to read it out to you guys. If you're indeed not in the chat room, but you should be in the chat room because that's where all the cool people are. But you're cool too because you're listening to the show. So we're going to give you an opportunity to win right now. Just go to millenniumfalcon.bandcamp.com/yum. And if you're quick enough, you can grab one of these codes and it'll work for you. Here we go. Tango Alpha Pepto Xavier 8 Charlie Disco. So that is like, I'm not really in the military, so I have all these like weird.
Like what call signs are you using?
Like umbrella, hedgehog. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah, what's the P? What is the P anyway? It's not not Pepto.
Now you got me. Oh, jeez.
Podiatrist.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, we know our stuff. I tell you. All right, so let's do one more, and I tell you what. Here's the thing about my disorganization, Neon. I cannot tell which one we're actually giving away. Are both of these for Millennium Falcon? They could be. All right.
What? Yeah.
Because they could also be for Miles Matrix. So you guys, it's kind of like a box of chocolates. You're gonna, this last one could be either or. I think it's a Millennium Falcon. So, all right.
Yeah.
So,
the umbrella one?
Yeah, I wrote that one.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
All right.
That's Millennium Falcon.
All right. Here we go. Umbrella 4 yellow -7 Nancy 4 Hector. So that's U44Y-7N4H. Very exciting. I feel like I'm playing Battleship. You sunk my battleship. Papa. Joey's saying Papa. Is it Papa?
Yeah, it's Papa. That's right. Thanks, Joey.
I think so. Yes. Z is talking in the chat, and I'm trying to read this. You're going to save some for a tweet? Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
We're not done. Yes, we get you at all angles. We just throw music at you. You turn around, we're throwing some free music right in your face. Smack.
Even for our European friends who are going to be listening to the archive.
That's right. We're going to hold on to a few. So definitely.
I can't believe they're not awake at 4 a.m. listening to us.
I know. And speaking of on the archive, I did have a couple of friends, especially the gentleman at Retro Reverb Records. They asked if we can get a little tweak going with the stream, since my main man Z is in the house. If you could possibly get that just flying through the interwebs, maybe we'll pick up a couple listeners that might be able to get themselves some new tunes as well. Wow, this is going to be a really long show. We're almost pushing an hour right now in the end. This is bananas.
Wow, you know what? We had some quality content there with Chris, North Innsbruck from Minnesota.
We did.
That was awesome.
And he could really do the Minnesotan accent too. That's the funniest thing.
Oh yeah.
All you Northerners, you just crack me up with all your crazy talk. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump on into our other news segments. And yeah, so we got some other news for you guys here, and we're going to tell you about it. Oh no, this is terrible. On the next edition of Who Stole Who From What From Who, looks like this time it is Starfarer that is the victim of copyright theft. Boo.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of weirdness going on here. What's the actual story with this story here? They stole artwork?
Yeah, they stole artwork. Right. And Starfarer caught this on SoundCloud page for the band Nero.
Right.
Who has they're pretty big and they have quite the following.
They do. They're verified as well, which was crazy.
Yeah. And so apparently there's a song up on their SoundCloud page, not the best synthwave song ever made, and it's got artwork and it features literally the portrait of Starfarer holding his synthwave. It was ripped right off his own art.
Unbelievable.
And so at first everybody thought it was Nero.
Yeah.
Who did this, but looks like the real culprit of the theft from Starfarer was some Brazilian synthwave producer called Bunnyzilla Retro Records.
Bunnyzilla.
Yeah, and I think they use a distributor. I didn't know that distributors could also distribute music to SoundCloud. I thought it was just the streaming services.
Yeah, I think DistroKid does that.
Yeah. But apparently, these distributors, if the artist doesn't check before this stuff gets distributed, it can get tagged to the wrong profile.
Mm-hmm.
So this Bunnyzilla wears many hats and has different artist names for their mediocre music. So one of them was Nero, and it got tagged to Nero's site.
So they're getting the flag.
Obviously, Synthfam came down on Nero here. But a little bit of sleuthing found it was really Bunnyzilla.
So yes, we are hopefully putting a little bit of removing some of the mystique of the whole situation, and hopefully we're not feeding the fire.
It's not Nero.
yeah, I didn't think it was, because they're verified. They're big. Yeah. They don't need to steal other people's artwork.
You know what? Synth artists should straight up stop traveling into the future to steal material.
And stop Googling.
They travel in the future, they travel back, and then they release it under their own name. First it was Michael Oakley, now it's Starfarer.
I know, Michael Oakley, traveling in time, stealing music, bringing it back. Unbelievable. And also stop Googling images in Google and saying, oh, this looks like it's never been used before. The reason why it's coming up in the first Google search is because it's literally coming up for everybody on the planet when you type that in. So chances are you've seen that before. It's being used somewhere. So just be careful. We're all struggling artists, and we definitely want to put our own identity out there. You don't want to steal somebody else's identity, because it's no fun. Be yourself. Be yourself, Jules.
Yeah, of course. Always.
All right. So I tell you what, enough soapboxing and all that. We are turning into, I feel like my finger should be wagging or something like that. Like they wag their finger and, you shouldn't do this, kids. And, we're not like that. I can't even get my own shit together, but, I tell you, let's go ahead. We're going to play some music. What are we going to play next here? Do we have a cool tune lined up here, Mr. Neon?
I love it. So, I mean, if you like synthwave, then you like it all. And there's always some good dark synth. So we've got a track from Danish dark synth artist Nameless Computer.
Yes.
From their recent EP, Satan is a Cyborg. And so this track is called Psychotic Cyber Vampire.
Yes, best name in the world.
Yeah, oh yeah. So here it is on Night Ride FM.
All right. Yes, that was a totally rad tune right there. That was Nameless Computer with, what is it? Psychotic Cyber Vampire. Yes, very cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, I when I got that EP and I was listening to that song, it's good dark sense on that EP, but this one with that,
it's very twinkly. I like it.
Oh yeah, just as Saphira V said in the chat, it's got that Baroque vibe.
Yes, it does. It really does. And look at that. In the house, we have Neon Arcadia. Look at that. We got some special guests
Benny
in the house, and that is the cool thing, man. You get all kinds of rad dudes. Saros FM just joined up with the crew, and he said, "Oops, he's got a typo already."
Saros FM, not Saros.
Oh, did I mess it up?
No, he's got it spelt wrong in the chat.
Oh,
that's why he says, "Oops, typo."
Got it. Yes, because I wouldn't be surprised if I pronounced like everyone else's name wrong, because that tends to happen. I tell you what, Jules, we're going to keep on moving along. We're going to plow on with this show here, and let's just jump on into this super rad. I heard we had a really, really good Neon Fox feel good story of the week. Can you go ahead and maybe give us some good vibes real quick?
Oh, sure. So, as I said, we're handing out some Bandcamp codes for Miles Matrix, his new album. So, not only is he providing us with these Bandcamp codes to give to you guys, but he retweeted a story today about a gentleman who was seen dancing at a concert, and apparently he was subsequently bullied and mocked with photos showing him dancing before.
I saw
and then
that.
looking embarrassed afterwards. So, some internet bullying, and of course, it was a user from 4chan who gleefully told the story.
Of course.
So, the despicable behavior was reported on Imgur and then on Reddit, and eventually users on Reddit and Twitter then started a hunt to identify the man to show some support, and they used the hashtag #FindDancingMan.
I love it.
So, it's a feel-good story. So all's well that ends well.
Yes.
Turns out they found him. His name is Sean, and now thousands of women, I think the count's up to like 2,000, are throwing this cool gent a dance party.
Oh, that's
awesome. And also singer Pharrell Williams has also lent his support.
What?
So, take that, 4chan.
Oh my God! Now I want to go to this party. How do we get on that?
No, you can't get invited. It's just this guy and 2,000 women. So
wait a minute.
Yeah. It pays not to bully.
It does, and yes, we can stream that concert. I'm just throwing out my services. 2,000 women, just I could be a fly on a wall. Just stream the whole thing. It'll be great. You're gonna love it. We'll put it right on Night Ride. It'll be a big party.
There you go.
I don't know. Man's got to try.
Yeah.
Man's got to try. So, very, very nice. That's always good to hear a nice, good story. And I tell you what, speaking of awesome things, we have one more Neon Fox Song of the Week, which I believe you are going to let us know right now. And this one's a special one, a super special one. So, why don't you let us know about it?
So let's bring up Miles Matrix again.
Yeah.
This super generous person, he's got his album, it's out on Bandcamp, called Buena Vista, and it should be releasing on other platforms either tomorrow or throughout the next coming days. So Miles Matrix hails from Vienna, Austria, and if you've listened to any of his stuff prior, he's got some beautiful, haunting tracks over the past few months. And so this new album pays homage to the movie soundtracks of the 80s, and we happen to have a track to play from the album. Woohoo! We're also handing out some Bandcamp codes throughout the show tonight for this album. So let's first take a listen to one of the tracks off this album. This is Miles Matrix's track called Star Pilot from his album Buena Vista, here on Night Ride FM.
Once again, that was Miles Matrix with Star Pilot. That is a rad ass tune, I tell you.
It's great. It's a beautiful atmospheric track.
For sure.
You know what? So I don't know if those of you who have just joined us. Miles Matrix has given us some codes to hand out to listeners.
Woohoo!
To download his new album, which is available now on Bandcamp. So if you visit milesmatrix.bandcamp.com/yum, and if you're quick, you can use the following code. This is, let's read it out. Okay, I'm gonna get my call signs right here. Lima, Victor, November, Zulu, Dash, Yankee, Kilo, Golf, 7. That's LVNZ-YKG7. That's from Miles Matrix's new album, Buena Vista, and people are loving it. So jump on that code. Jump over to milesmatrix.bandcamp.com/yum. He has been so nice to hand us A, some music, and B, these Bandcamp codes.
Yeah, very good. We do appreciate the codes to hand out because we love giving out free music, and yeah, very nice. And we do have our next... Wait a minute. This just in? What? Looks like the Midnight just tweeted out a response to a recent ruling, the U.S. regarding a women's right to choose. And apparently, they are donating all of their profits of their sales on their music on Bandcamp for the next few weeks to the ACLU, who are challenging the apparent decisions in court. So if you are indeed like to support them, you can always visit themidnight.bandcamp.com. And crazy, you know, it's a crazy world we live in. I tell you what, we're not really going to weigh too much in on that kind of stuff.
But you know what? We are up and current on the news, so there you go.
We are. We absolutely are. And it is absolutely newsworthy. If you are an artist out there, you know, you have just the right to speak your mind as anybody else, whether you are for it or against it. That's the way you float your boat. But, you know, sometimes people need to speak out, and I do have to give them enough respect to really put their money where their mouth is, or their mouth where their money is, or they're putting their mouth on something. I'm not really sure where this conversation's even going. Neon, help me, save me out of this conversation.
Well, you know what? Let's jump into some album releases.
Yeah, you know what? I think we should definitely jump into some album releases. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what we got coming out.
Sure. So, you know what? Let me kick it off. As I mentioned, Miles Matrix, Buena Vista, the album has released today, one day earlier than planned. And we've played one of his songs already, and we're handing out some Bandcamp codes, so jump on that. Another artist, Glenn Main, his album Back to Basics releases tomorrow, May 17th. We've got Com Trues releasing a new album tomorrow on May 17th. Power Glove, their album drops tomorrow.
Ooh.
Are you ready for that, Dennis?
Oh, I'm so psyched for that one. Very
it's
excited.
It's going to be good. And of course, near and dear to Night Ride FM's heart, let's see, we got Alex and Tokyo Rose. The Akuma 2 album dropped last Friday.
Yeah.
And you guys are at the album launch party / Turbo Night Strappy.
In fact, I don't want to interject too much here, but you can actually go to nightride.com. You can actually go to the archive and the event tab. If you go to the event tab, you'll see one event, and that was that Akuma 2 event. You can actually listen to the 3+ hours of wonderful synthwave being streamed from Valentine, from Straplocked, from Turbo Night, and the Akuma 2 crew. I believe we had Tokyo Rose DJing, and then we had Faith in the Glitch to wrap it up. So, you know.
Yes, Faith in the Glitch just announced that they've signed a marriage license, him and his partner.
Oh, very nice.
He's going to be getting married soon.
Oh, they better have synthwave at his wedding.
Yeah, congrats, Mr. Well, it's going to be synthwave or a swing house.
Oh, yeah,
one of the two.
Oh, I would love a swing house party. I want to go to that. He's right in Jersey too, so.
Get Faith and Glitch to DJ it for you. He'll hook you up.
Well, for his wedding. He doesn't want to DJ at his own wedding. but I could DJ his wedding.
Well, there you go.
Maybe. I don't know. But he's a much better DJ than I am, so.
You know what? I got one more album release.
All right.
One of my favorite artists, and this is a great vocal, like synth pop type track. Hollow Flash has just released I'm Just in Love. It was released May 12th.
Okay.
So if anybody's listening, jump on to Bandcamp, take a listen to that track. I can't wait for it to hit Spotify because I want it on my playlist so bad.
Yeah, very, very exciting. All right, my turn here. We have some cool groovy tunes from my man Millennium Falk, and of course his single Kessel Run. It is out on May 24th. So again, you had a taste of that, but definitely go out and support his music. He's a really great artist. Pre-orders have just begun on Bandcamp for Turbo Knight's new album, Navigators. Yes, he is really tearing it up. He actually tore it up last Saturday, and he's really just putting out a really good album. We actually have a review. I am lucky enough to be writing some stuff about that, so keep an eye out for the review that's going to be going out in just a little bit. My man Personality and Oceanside 85, they just released one. I believe it was yesterday. I Know Your Number. That just dropped, and it is another hit. I don't know where Personality came from, but man, he's just got that. He's got that Let It Riot type of vibe. It's like that Cali singing poppy kind of vibe, with the synthwave mixed in. It's just delicious stuff. So,
well, you know what? Oceanside 85 has also cranked it up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the vocals on her last album were amazing, and then the collaborations she's done since then.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Great stuff. Glass Apple Bonsai. I always mess that one up. The All Night Stand Starlight Electronic Cafe. Yes, that is a mouthful. Pre-orders, they begin on June 7th. So that is another cool album from Glass Apple Bonsai. It sounds really groovy.
He's a neighbor of mine.
Is he?
No, I would say he's from the
he is?
Toronto region.
Right in that area, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. I saw him play at a Neon. He was really good at excellent performer. I mean, he just owned the stage. It was at one, I think it was a Saturday night, and it was like, it was him, and it was the Rain Within, and there was another band. Man, I can't even think of the band. Triangle Forest. I can't stop saying enough good things about Triangle Forest. If you ever check out their stuff, go on Bandcamp, and they're really low key, like super low key, but just all great vocal synthwave. That whole set was fantastic. And Let It Riot was there too. So
yeah, I love Let 'Em Riot.
I think they're going in concert in another area too. Well, we'll get to the concerts coming up for you. I'm sure you can fill us in on that. But we do want to let you know one more here, that Monday, May 20th, LeBrock's first single of 2019. I actually heard this today. I was talking with Kevin over at Fixed, and he gave me a little sneak preview, and let me tell you, it is fantastic. It's called Bright Lights. It debuts on Fixed Neon's YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out. And that's coming up right around the corner next Monday, Memorial Day.
Victoria Day. It's Victoria Day for Canadians.
Day. Yes.
Yeah.
Is she cute?
Victoria? No, I think she's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But, I mean, I don't know. It depends what you're into. I guess.
Well, I guess there's different strokes for. We're not going to get political on that one either, but. Oh God, we're dipping low tonight, Jules. So anyway, we're gonna move on here before I get myself in any serious legal trouble. Moonrunners 83's upcoming album, Hearts of Fire. Let me say that again because I haven't had a drink, and I probably need one at this point. Moonrunner 83's upcoming album, Hearts on Fire. It is available for pre-order right now. Right now, guys, go and pre-order Moonrunner 83 and Megan McDuffie. She had a huge part of his album, and they're peanut butter and jelly at this point. But he dropped the Streets director's cut, the single and the instrumental on Bandcamp as well. With the Hearts on Fire release, it's slated for May 27th. We've managed to score. That's exactly what we did. We scored.
We did.
An exclusive premiere off the album. I have no idea how we did this. Seriously. I don't even know. The gods must like me. They really do. But when I heard him play this on his Instagram. He did kind of like a live stream, and he was like literally getting ready to mix it down, and he was talking about this cover that he did. It's called Born Slippy. That's covering of an old tune.
From Trainspotting.
Yeah. And he played this, and I just fell in love with it. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta play this. And I just I hit him up, and I guess he just, he was just such a super awesome dude that,
You know what? I think I know what it was. I mentioned to him, Perturbator was in Toronto this past Sunday.
Right.
And I wore my Moonrunner 83 shirt to the concert.
There it is.
So I mentioned, you know what? So that you got to grease these artists
Grease the palms a little bit. It's always good, Always good to make friends. But, bribery and, sucking up to people always, can take you twice as far.
Of course.
I'm not ashamed to grovel, Jules. I'm not. I'll put it right out there.
Neither am I.
Right now.
My credit card's on fire, people.
Yes, and you support people, on that regard as well. But actually, I bought a full album on Bandcamp today. Actually, this isn't on our cue sheet, but I bought Tyler Lyle's new
I saw him tweet
album. It's really good. I like all kinds of music, obviously, but yeah. Tyler Lyle, he's killing it. He's like a modern day Bob Dylan, and of course he writes a lot of the songs for the Midnight, and yeah, he's a very, very talented folk artist as well. I don't know if a lot of people know that. Maybe not as popular as the Midnight per se, but it's all there. All the DNA is right in all their music. So if you like the Midnight stuff, definitely check out some of his solo stuff too. It's really, really good. And he's got this song called Brooklyn that just blows me away every time I hear it. So, I'm just trying to do my part, man.
Tyler's a great songwriter, and he's got a great voice.
And he's a super awesome dude too.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we're not talking about Tyler Lyle, although we can for another hour, but we're going to go into this exclusive right now because we're just as excited about this as well. Once again, this is Moonrunner 83 along with a little Megan McDuffie, and this is Born Slippy right here on Night Ride FM.
was a lipstick boy, she was a beautiful boy, and tears the boy, and darling, you're in a space boy, and skull boy, and steel boy, you wear chemicals boy, I've grown so close to you boy, and you've just grown boy, she said come over, she smiled at you.
She was a lipstick boy, she was a
broomstick boy, she was a beautiful boy. And tears boy, and darling, you're in a space boy. And in school boy, and steel boy, you had chemicals boy. I've grown so close to you boy, and you just grown boy. She said, come over, come over. She smiled at you.
Yeah, once again, that was Born Slippy, Moonrunner 83. Little help from Megan McDuffie. That is probably my new favorite track. What do you think about that one there?
It's amazing. The siren synth strikes again.
Yeah, loved it. Loved it. It's got a good beat too. Like you can really, like I actually wanted to mix some beats to it too. So if you find that one snuck into like a little dance track, you know, you'll hopefully recognize it because now you know it, and that's great stuff. Very good.
I'll probably be playing that when I'm DJing too, because everyone's gonna know the track. And come on, the two vocalists in that are awesome.
Yeah. Just slaying it. So I can't wait for that album. I'm very excited that it's coming out very, very soon. And speaking of coming out, let's see who is coming out to see all you guys here. Let's jump into some touring and event news. Neon, can you go ahead and take it away?
Yes, another my favorite part of the show. So let's see, Giorgio Moroder. He's going to be in Milan, Italy tomorrow, May 17th, followed by Florence and then Rome, and then he's off to the Netherlands and Paris after that.
Very nice.
Tomorrow, Perturbator is going to be in Richmond, Virginia, followed by Atlanta, Tampa, and then finishing their North American tour in Hancock, Michigan.
Yeah.
Supporting artists, in Atlanta, we've got Gregorio Franco opening for them. And, I forgot to mention that Perturbator is touring with Ghost down in the States.
Right.
So Gregorio Franco will be opening in Atlanta for them, and Moondragon will be opening for them in Tampa.
Sweet. Very exciting.
Let's see. Chromatics with Desiring in Mirrors is going to be in Boston tomorrow, May 17th, followed by Philadelphia, Brooklyn, and then Washington.
Philly. They're actually playing a block down from where I work. They're playing at Union Transfer, so
I guess you're going?
I want to go so bad. It's tomorrow, and I don't know if I can pull it off.
I know, as we talked about earlier, life sometimes
gets in the way, man. Really gets in the way.
I know. Well, speaking of life, let's talk about the opposite here.
Yes.
Dance with the Dead.
Death.
They're touring again because those guys, I guess they don't like living at home.
No.
Yeah, I guess they just want to live in a tour bus. So, yeah, Saturday, May 18th, they're going to be in New Jersey. Woo. Sunday in Portland. And then after that, Millvale, Pennsylvania.
I wonder what part of Jersey they're going to be in. Probably North Jersey. But I got to look that one up. I really do.
They're always, they're a good face melting fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun for the whole family.
And then let's see. Finally, in other touring news, I guess the last one I can talk about here. Tomorrow, May 17th, Morgan Willis will be in Cologne, Germany, performing at Neon Paradise.
Yeah, very excited.
I love Morgan Willis. He's a talented French synthwave artist.
It could be for today too, if you were on the other side of the world.
That's right. Yeah. So for European listeners, that's today.
Or if you're Z, like in an hour, because he's in the future.
Yeah.
And Benny was actually asking about where I am from. I'm in South Jersey, which New Jersey is kind of like this big, long, stretchy state, and they have the North Jersey, which is like New York bound, and they have the South Jersey, which is like heavily Philly influenced. So I'm right on the South Jersey area. I always tell everyone Cherry Hill. I'm near Cherry Hill because I don't know why. Like you could be like in Canada and you're like, oh no, I know Cherry Hill. Like I don't know what it is. It's like one of them weird places that everyone seems to know. But yeah, I'm near Cherry Hill. And so that was great news there. And with that, it is time for another melody. Ooh, I like the way you wrote that. A nice melody from Fury Weekend, not Furry Weekend, as you wrote last week. you You almost tripped yourself up.
Well, you know what? Yeah, maybe I was trying to throw you a curveball. Let's see.
Tripped me up, weren't you? And an artist out of Belarus on the Fixed label. Yeah, this is great stuff. This is a collaboration with Josh Money called Savior, and this is a great tune. Josh Money, Fury Weekend Savior. This is on Night Ride FM, and we got this one coming right at you. Here it is.
Some are looking for love. Name is
And once again, that was Fury Weekend with Savior. Yeah, great tune right there. And we love those guys over at The Fixed. They got some cool tunes, some really cool artists as well. And yeah, I just really dig that.
That song is so intense.
It is. It's really intense. The vocals are just so like meaty, you know? Like this is the Meaty show, so like I don't know. I don't even know how to name this. Like, you know, usually I go ahead and I name the shows and stuff. Like this is, I guess we just got to call it the Meaty show because
the Meaty and Juicy show.
Whew, it's got some weight to it. It's like a 10-pound ball bearing.
Now.
I know I'm going there again, man. I'm going there. What is wrong with me? Like seriously. Are we done yet?
We're getting close.
All right, tell you what. We have a special announcement. Dun, 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 dun. Special announcement. The 24/7 Night Ride stream is not only available on nightride.fm, you can also check it out on YouTube now as well. So we are getting with the program. Z. Other letter. God darn it. I'm done. I'm taking my stuff and I'm going home. Z, I don't even know where G's me, I guess. But we're putting out a cool YouTube link where you can go ahead and stream. Some people have a hard time. I don't know what it is. I guess it's all the iOS people, but they do have a hard time picking up the station sometimes. So we're going to give you other options to stream the station. You can either go to our YouTube, and we're going to have some cool graphics up there. We're going to have the artist names and everything like that. Z is now known as G. Right there with it. Right there. He's just right there with me, which is great because, you know, I'm taking everyone down a road of insanity, but it's good to know that I got friends along the way. You know what I mean? But anyway, so we got a lot of cool stuff, and we're going to go ahead and tweet our super cool link. It's like youtube.com/rxpjt, you know, unrememberable URL, but all we got to do is get 100 followers, which I think we might have no problem with that, and then we can get our super cool fancy domain. You know, we just kind of we're getting up our YouTube, and we're kind of getting it up fresh. So, you know, if you want to jump on the YouTube fun, we will tweet that out after the show. You can please subscribe so we can get that nice, fancy, pretty URL. And of course, if you like, I don't know if you're into art, you know, we still have the Wrecked FM art up there, which is super dope. But we're thinking about putting some super cool fast cars or whatever all the hot synthwave kids are looking at. You know, you just go to like the Reddit Outrun Discord and you just see like a million pictures of like hot cars and stuff. So
yep.
We want to be cool, like the cool kids, you know. So we'll get that up and running. It'll be Z's not happy about that. He don't like the fast cars, but you know, it's synthwave. You gotta do what the cool kids do. But anyway, so make sure you participate with that. If that is indeed your thing, that would be great. And we are going to go ahead and move on into our last segment. If you stuck around so far, congratulations. I think this one is a record. We're almost going on 2 hours now. So
wow, yeah.
Who's even going to listen to all this crap? I mean, if it wasn't my own show, honestly, I think I might make it halfway through and I'd be like, I can't. I got stuff to do, so.
You know what? I'm guilty of listening to the show afterwards.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I hear myself speak, and then I'm doing that Jean-Luc Picard face palm.
Yeah, like I do every 5 seconds. So, you know, what are you going to do? You know, this is a live show, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I say things that just come out of my mouth, and, you know, it's just the sad truth that, you know, you can't pull the words back out when they go out. So, you know, Speaking of shouting things out, we're going to go into our shout out section right now. And why not, right? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to kick off this very first shout out. We're going to go and shout out to Bunny X. And they were at New York City. And he misses them in New York City. He was not there to see them. Speaking of me in third person, Dennis is very sad that he did not see Bunny X, and I saw her walk by. I forget, it was Abigail. I'm not sure. One of the Bunny X. There's 2 Bunny X's, so there's Bunny X number 1, and it was really sad because I wanted to meet Bunny X, but I had to work.
Well, apparently I might get to meet them July 6th, because apparently, well, I know Abigail's coming up to Toronto.
Yes.
So I don't know if Bunny number 2 or Bunny number 1.
Bunny number.
I don't know if it's one bunny or the 2 bunnies.
The bunnies. Bunny X. I guess X is like the variable, right? That's math shit, right?
Yeah. So I guess maybe they figured, you could have 1, 3,
and
5.
you could have multiple bunnies.
Well, you know how bunnies reproduce, right?
Yes. They're all over the place by the end of it.
Multiply like rabbits.
They do it. That's where the phrase comes from, I think. Save me from this, Jules. Who else are we going to shout out here?
Okay, I'm going to throw a shout out to Wraithwalker, who's a synthwave artist out of the state of Georgia. So hi, Wraithwalker.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Counterattack from England. Doing some super dupe stuff.
Ethereal Delusions from Oregon. Hello.
Very nice. Rob Dyson from London, who co-hosts the Eversynth the 80s show. So, yeah, shout out to you, Rob.
I found out he's got the same birthday as me.
Oh, very nice.
So I'm going to throw a shout out to Hexencraft. And you know what? This is one of those, there's very few artists. I can't zero in on their state or country, but this guy is keeping it close to the chest. So, I mean, the only thing I know is he's from hell. So, Hexencraft, shout out to you.
Yes, shout out to you, and forgive me if I messed this one up. You didn't write this phonetically for me, Jules. Amphlodite. I was close. Shout out to you, my friend, out there reading England? I read it as Reading England. Maybe you're Reading England. I don't know. You could read what you want. Just had an interview posted by Canadian Calgary resident Carl McGee.
I think it's Maggie or McGee.
We don't know.
You know what? You might be right, Maggie.
Whatever
Carl,
those
let us
Canadians
know.
are doing, I don't know. You guys have your own world up there.
Right. Oh, one more shout out. Well, you know what? 2 more shout outs. Second last one here. I want to throw a shout out to the Identity Matrix. I saw him tweet today. He's been a little bit quiet on Twitter, but he's still out there. Great producer out of Washington.
Very nice.
And I think how about a shout out to everyone who is in the IRC chat on Night Ride FM.
Tell you, we have a full house.
Yeah, we got Fighter Jets in there. We got Kit. We had Safira V earlier, and Benny from Neon Arcadia.
It's hot.
We've got Joey Fortrack.
Yeah.
Hello.
Talk about bunnies now.
Yeah.
I love bunnies. Bunnies are great, They're just wonderful animals, and, they're cute, they're cuddly, and you can, pet them and shit. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We are almost on pushing 2 hours, I guess, but we have to go to bed soon enough, and that is it for this hefty episode of The State of Synth. We would like to thank all of our guests, especially North Innsbruck, for chatting with us about a very important topic that affects us all. I am your host, Dennis G.
And I'm Neon Fox.
And if you have any news, releases, tours, or life hacks, you can always email us at tipline@nightride.fm. Before we leave, let's hand out one of our last Miles Matrix Bandcamp codes. Here it is. I'm going to read it here. We have Quebec. You must have wrote this. Quebec 9 Alpha Kilo Uniform 9 Foxtrot Victor. So Q9AK U9FV. Very nice.
Well, believe it or not, that Quebec is correct. Don't ask me why, but in NATO call sign, they use Quebec for Q.
Is it Quebec or is it Quebec?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, if you want to say it, it's Quebec.
Quebec. It's French, right? It's very French influence.
Well, it's Canadian French.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Not French.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I'm going to shut my
what that
trap.
means.
I'm
Don't get.
not going to go there.
Don't go there. You got your own stuff to deal with. We got our own stuff to deal with, and the world keeps on spinning and people keep making rad music. So that's what all matters at the end of the day.
So you've handed that one out. I'm going to throw in a couple of Bandcamp codes into the IRC chat before we leave for the Millennium Falk single. But everybody go to milesmatrix.bandcamp.com/yum and grab that code. Use that code that Dennis just gave you.
Yeah. Jump on it. Go get those cool tunes. With that, we're going to go ahead and play you out with this Swedish artist, Mitch Murder. And this track is called At Doom's Gate. It is a tribute to the Doom theme song. Totally rad and awesome. Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. We will see you next time. We also need to dial up Vosto Vlad. I don't know what happened to Vosto Vlad. If you guys hear from him, let us know. We're a little worried.
Yeah, we are.
He's in Synthland. Apparently, I don't know. He's in the ether right now. So anyway, we're gonna dig him up and see what happens. In the end, this is
Vosto. Click your heels.
Click your heels 3 times. Oh, we're coming for you, buddy. Night Ride FM. We'll see you next time, guys.